Hello, welcome back. I told you I was going to make videos on Wednesdays for you. Also for me, just a way to connect and share updates about what's going on with my health journey, and also just to connect on a deeper level. You know, cancer may have brought me to this point to connect with you all here, but I'm just grateful to be here connecting with you either way. Whatever anybody's going through, you know, it's all important. It's all the stuff of this life, and it's all important, and it just can feel so much better to do life in community. And so this is my attempt to doing life in community with you. So thanks for joining me again for another video, hopefully uninterrupted. I'm having a little shortness of breath, but that's normal. I had immunotherapy on Monday, so I have that every third Monday, and then the side effects are kind of like flu-like symptoms for about a week, but shortness of breath and just being tired and weak and just really needing rest while the treatment does its job. That's kind of what treatment weeks are about. And I go to acupuncture twice a week during treatment weeks, and I love my acupuncturist, Emma. She's just amazing and does great work with me, and always feel so much better when I leave her clinic. So I got to have that yesterday, and IV fluids today to just really help with staying hydrated. And I think last week I talked to you about having a little tumor on my side that really wasn't dangerous or doing anything to cause me any symptoms. It was just a random tumor that popped up right there under my skin, but it was, you know, a big enough size that I could feel it and see it. And if I could figure out how to post a picture to a video, I took a picture of it and I could post it to this video. Maybe I'll add it later in editing or something. I don't even know what that is or how to do that. I'm acting like I know how to edit a video. But anyway, I had this 5 centimeter tumor just sitting under the skin. I think I told you last week that I was looking at having that removed so that I could send it off to a special lab and have it tested for chemo sensitivities. So all of this is amazing to me that we can even do it. Well, my appointment was the very next day after I made that video, so Thursday of last week, excuse me. And and so Thursday we saw the surgeon, and he had a cancellation for Friday morning. So I was in surgery Friday morning having the tumor removed. I have just a little tiny, like about 4 or 5 inch incision. Those are my kids' Band-Aids. But that's where the tumor was, and my little steri strips, they told me to keep them on for till my 2-week follow-up, but they're already starting to flake off, so I put some Band-Aids on, kid Band-Aids, also to make it a little bit brighter and cuter to look at. But ever since I had that tumor pop up, I was just like, come on, what is this? Where did you come from, and why are you here? I knew there was a reason, and I didn't know what it was, but every day I saw it in the mirror, I just would recognize it, bless it, and then dismiss it because I didn't really know what I was supposed to be learning from it. And now I just really feel so grateful for this tumor being a blessing. Now it's on its way to this special lab to be diced up and treated with different types of chemos and chemo combinations so that we'll know exactly what the tumor will respond to. And then I can take those medications and hopefully that will clear up what's kind of blocking me here and in my lung and stuff. So I'm just so grateful for all the advancements of cancer research and all the great care that I'm receiving. The surgeon was great. It was the absolute most strange medical procedure I've ever been through because I was completely conscious. I chose that over general anesthesia. And it was really a lot like labor. Luckily, I had the experience of having 4 babies without the use of medication to numb the pain during those labors. And, I was able to tap back into those skills and engage the nurses when I was in surgery to help me prepare me for when the next suture was coming so I could do my breathing and all of that. So it was really interesting, but it worked out exactly how I wanted it to without having to have a general anesthesia and a major surgery. So grateful for that. That's behind me. And so now I'm just waiting. Next week I'll have a MRI on my brain just to check this little guy and make sure that there's no little spots popping up. That'll be next week on Monday, and we'll see. If there's spots, we'll have a little radiation and take care of it. That seems to be what works. And I'm just grateful for all these opportunities to clean up the cells that I don't want in there. And I just feel with each time that I'm getting closer to returning to my vibrant health and just the body that I want to have to be able to use to do all the things I want to do. Like, it's getting really gorgeous with the weather here, and I really want to go hiking with my family and our pup, and I just hope to get some of that time this summer. Anyway, enough about that. So I talked to you about I do take a lot of medications, like every day. Here's my medication box, and I have medicine. And now there's even going to be more added to this because of some thyroid issues that are expected with the immunotherapy that I'm on. But I have all of these medications, and then the infusions I take every 3 weeks. But I do add things like energy work and acupuncture and yoga and meditation, and my favorite, visualization, because it's combines the meditation and it kind of makes it feel more I don't know, just like I'm an active participant, and it just feels like I can just see the results that I'm looking for. So like when I'm taking my infusion, I have this port here. Oh, I just got back from getting fluids. There's a little Band-Aid sticker. But I have this little port here. It's got 3 little dots. it's like a plastic thing under my skin that was implanted, and then there's a tube that goes in to my artery here, and that's how I receive my medicine. And some of you may know what a port is. You can see that tube. It's connected to this and it moves. But I go in and I get my, and Keytruda is what it's called, the immunotherapy, and they put the needle in and it's hooked up to the IV and the bag's hanging and all the little medicines are just dripping, one little drip at a time. And I just visualize I've blessed that medicine into my body as a part of my healing path to vibrant health and full recovery. And I see those little drops turning into piranhas and on the hunt for all those little cells that are not serving my body. And so those little piranhas are just nipping away those little tumors and here and just giving me more freedom to breathe and do the things that I want to do. So visualization I really love because I feel like I'm putting that power of my mind and intention and visualizing the medication working. I do that not just at therapy, at treatment, but I talk to my body and send love to my body and visualize love going into my body and healing going into my body as I lay and do in bed and do my own healing meditations. Those are some things I like to do. I love tapping, and I have an app that does guided tapping. And if you want to know more about that, I can explain more about that. But you might already know about the tapping. But it's just a different kind of like meditation where you're actually just touching points as you're affirming things to yourself. And but you address the trauma first when you are tapping, which is important, I think, to acknowledge the pain or suffering or whatever feelings that you're going through, grief, loss, whatever it is. Acknowledge it and then find out if it's true or real, or if it's something that you can relax into or breathe out of you, or realize that it doesn't serve you and just let go. So it's just a different type of energy work, and you can do it with a practitioner or by yourself, and I love to do that. And guided imagery, I love a guided imagery app that just, because I deal with insomnia from some of my medications, and so this helps me really to get into a deep sleep in a quick way. The guided imagery app that I use, I think it's the woman's voice mostly that really helps me get sleepy, but the imagery is nice. And so I have all of these tools in my toolkit. One thing that I do every single morning, because I have to wake up and take a Prilosec, because otherwise I'll have a lot of nausea if I don't, from indigestion, and wait for 30 minutes. So I wake up, just take the pill with some water by my bed, and for 30 minutes I'll do one of those things, some meditation, maybe some journaling. I don't do a lot of breathing exercises because I struggle with that. I have a few that I do that are just right for me, for my level of breathing capabilities right now. But I always start my day with an album, a full album that I get on Spotify, and the woman's name is Kit Holmes. She is a very dear friend of mine, and she's actually graduating from her ministerial program in Centers for Spiritual Living, Science of Mind at Mile High in Denver this weekend, and I'll get to go see her. But she's just an amazing musician, and her music has touched my life even before cancer, because I worked with her at Unity of Wimberley in Texas, and she probably has no idea that I even do this, but every morning I wake up and turn on my Spotify. Get on my phone on the Spotify, click on the album, and I just play through from start to finish her album called Something Wonderful. And I hook it up to my Bluetooth speaker, and I'll walk around the house wherever I'm going to shower or going to the kitchen or wherever I'm going to be. I start my day with that whole album. And it's really just positive, uplifting. Last week I talked about guarding the portals of your mind. That was Napoleon Hill who wrote that in a book. And this is me guarding the portals of my mind, waking up, putting on this positive, affirmative music that talks about how I'm one with God. I'm one with the universe. I am one with the Creator. I am creating my life. I am creating my experiences. The whole album is very affirmative. It's very puts me in touch with what I want to be, who I want to be each day, showing up as a positive person, a person who reflects light and love and lives from that place. And if I start my day from that place, then I have a pretty good chance of living that day, whole day, from that place of love and power and creativity. So check it out. Kit Holmes, Something Wonderful is the album. She has other albums, but this is the one I play start to finish as part of my prescription for myself. And then I have another little thing that somebody taught me. My sister sent it to me on Instagram, so there's somebody I'm sure I'm supposed to give credit to on Instagram. So I'll do that next week when I figure out who it really came from. But I'm sure there's so many ways to start your morning and so many morning routines, and I'm sure you probably have something that resembles a morning routine. And if you don't, I highly encourage you to have a morning routine that includes some kind of personal development, personal time for yourself, personal connection with God or whatever you call your source. But some time to do that. And so this is just really simple. It's 3 things you can write in a journal. What you want to attract, 3 things. Who you want to be, 3 things. And what you're grateful for, 3 things. And so I've, in the past, had morning routines where I did a lot more journaling, answered a lot more questions, went into more detail, read more pages, did more stuff. Well, my life right now doesn't really allow for a very long morning routine, so I love that this is short and sweet, and this is just a sample of what I wrote on the first day that I did it. So what I wanted to attract, really, oh, so it's backwards, but anyway, it's not mirrored. Okay, so what I wanted to be, I wanted to attract vibrant health, outrageous joy, and comfort in my body. And who I wanted to be, I wanted to show up. Who do I want to show up as today? I want to be present. I want to be peaceful. I want to be strong in spirit. And my gratitude for that day was Sita Marie, a sweet, sweet dog I got to love for 16 and a half years. That belonged to my sister and brother-in-law and their boys. She just recently went into a new life where I'm sure she's happy and running free and free of pain. I wrote that I'm grateful for Western medicine and that I'm grateful for Eastern medicine. That's just a sample. It was so quick. It's so easy to come up with 3 things. I know today I definitely wanted to be patient. I added patient to that because I'm struggling with so many symptoms and I'm on a daily dose of steroids so I can become impatient easily. And that's not my true nature. I'm really a patient person. So I added that to to my list today. But this attracting abundance little activity is so short and simple, but it's so powerful. And those are just some of the things that I do for my self-prescriptions that I prescribe myself. I do grief work that I learned in the grief recovery method. I do that anytime grief shows up because I took that course and I learned that method and I know how to use it in my daily life. And I know there's other things that I do. I mean, there's just some mornings that I wake up and my body is so stiff or sore that I do bed yoga and just some gentle yoga in bed before I even get up. Just some side stretches and stretching up and just folding forward and laying as far forward as I can. And when I'm sitting cross-legged and, you know, just lots of different things. And reading or listening to books on Audible, watching good content on, there's a channel called Gaia, Gaia, and my brother-in-law got me a subscription for that. And there's just some really good content on there about, you know, changing your thoughts to change your reality in your life and things like that. And there's just really good stuff there you can check out. I'll put some links in the description to some of the things that I'm mentioning here so that you can check them out. But I also wanted to ask you, what are some things that you do in the morning or even throughout your day that's self-prescribed care? You know, self-care is such a good part of healing, but it's also a good part of preventing illness. I think it's just a really good part of life in general, self-care. So if you are finding yourself in a place where you have all these people that you're caring for and all these things that you're caring for, and it seems like every minute of the day is already marked with somebody else's initials or somebody else's like time, you're putting your energy there for someone else. Take a look, see, where do you fit in? Where are you giving yourself daily self-care? I'm not talking about once a month or once a year. pedicures, or like, you know, having a glass of wine at night when all the kids go to bed and scrolling through social media. I'm talking about good self-care, like a nice long hot bath where you've lit candles and you've put some salts in the bath and put some low lights and music, and you know, turned off your notifications and just have your music playing, and then you can just really be present and be relaxed and be with your body. But even that effort of planning out that time and getting the supplies ready, that's all about your self-care, and that can help you feel like you're taking care of yourself the same way that you would if you were setting up a relaxing bath for your child who's not feeling well, or tucking your kids into bed and giving them what they need before they go off to bed, or caring for your adult aging parent in a tender way that they need to feel comfortable. Doing those things for yourself is also very important. So I'd love for you to say in the comments, you know, one or two things of how you like to care for yourself, and then we can share in this community. You know, maybe there's some things that I could add to my self-care routine, and other people will find some of your ideas helpful too. So I welcome that in the comments. I encourage that, and then we can, you know, maybe discuss some of those at the beginning of the next video, and I'll just give you some updates, and if there's something you'd like me to discuss in the next video, I would be happy to go with some suggestions. Otherwise, I'll just come up with my own stuff that I like to talk about. I can go on and on, as you know. But I'm gonna wrap up here and just tell you guys how much I love you and bless you, and just I'm so grateful for your presence and for this ability to share with you my journey and my ups and downs, and just kind of how I make it through each day. So thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next week. Bye.